Hi angels, welcome back to another resin video. So in this video we're going to be making a heart-shaped resin clock. I've made a ton of resin clocks already, not like a ton, but like different shapes, different size. So I got this mold from Etsy's. I'll leave the link down in the description box of the seller that I got it from. These flowers right here I dry pressed myself. I'm pretty sure I already have a video of me doing that. These Polaroid pictures, obviously, I took them. Some of these pictures are from Jamaica, New York. I think that's it. Jamaica and New York. That's about it. So I'm just cutting off the bottom part where I wrote some stuff on there. Just trying to figure out which pictures I want and how they're going to be looking. Yeah. So after I did that, I poured down my first layer of some resin in there. Now I can just start adding on down there my pictures, making sure I press down on it so the bubbles can rise to the top, and you can just lay flat into the resin. End up going with two beautiful pictures of me because that looks so adorable. Something fell into the resin, so I just took it out real quick. So now it's time for my flowers. Oh no, I have to go over it with my lighter because obviously some bubbles around the corners and stuff like that. And I already put one little piece of flowers in some resin, so I'm just going to get that out real quickly. I was having problems trying to like grab onto it. I didn't want to break it apart or anything like that. So yeah, I put that little piece in some resin. Now going in there with my flowers that I had sitting around for months that I dried. So yeah. I should have went with the yellow one instead of using the pink, but I can always use it for something else. So after 24 hours, that first layer dry. So now it's time for the second layer of resin. And this resin, I let it sit way too long because I was using it for something else. I don't know why I didn't just pour it into the mold after I finished using it, but I let it sit way too long. So obviously there's some smoke, so I'm trying to be quick pouring it down. Don't want to waste any resin. But now, since it's obviously very much overheat, I don't know how this layer is going to be looking. So hopefully it looks good. I think there's some cracks in it, but I won't know until I take it out of the mold. Even now while I'm recording this, it's still not finished yet. Because obviously I have to be doing it in layers upon layers. Watching it, making sure that the bubbles, I pop some bubbles and all of that good stuff. So after this, I just let this layer dry for 24 hours as well. Yeah, but just let me watching all of the smoke. Smoking. That's why it's good to wear your mask, your gloves, open up some windows, and all of that good stuff. So I'm just watching the resin to see if there's any bubbles or any cracks or anything like this. Eventually, after it dries, I realized that there were some bubbles. So I decided that it looked way too plain and way too simple. So for the third layer, I decided to add on in there some dry flowers. These ones I got from Etsy's. I'll leave the link of the seller that I got them from down below in the description box. So I just place some of the flowers in some resin first, then put it back into the mold. And yeah, I decided I wanted some gold flakes, but I could not find my gold. So this is the only color that I could find. So I just mix it up into the resin. Then I just poured it on top of everything. Make sure I scoop everything out of the bowl. So I'm going to be pressing down a little bit on the flowers so that there's no bubbles underneath it. And in this little container, I just added a little bit of some resin, so I just poured it on top. So I was doing something else, and I had some resin left over. This one is some confetti with some glitter in there, so I'm just pouring it down into the mold. This layer is not dry yet or anything. So get in there my confetti, mixing everything up, trying to spread it out as much as I possibly can, even though there wasn't like really a lot in there, but still. After that, I also mix up some white as well, white pigment, so I'm gonna pour that in there. Mixing it up before I pour it into the mold. Do little squiggly lines with it. So for the final layer, I'm probably just going to go with some clear resin or maybe some black. I don't know. We're going to see tomorrow. Well, I will see tomorrow. This video will all just be come out this month. So I'm scraping everything out of the mold. Out of the cup, because obviously I do not want to waste a single drop of resin. So that's what I'm doing right there. And I'm just going to let this third layer dry overnight for a full 24 hours as well. And also I was checking it for bubbles, but the bubbles for this layer, it just rose up and then it just popped by itself. If you look very closely, you can see some of the bubbles just popping by themselves. Those little shimmers in there, that's the bubbles popping. So did not really need to go over it with my lighter, but I'm pretty sure that I did, just to be safe. And yeah, going over it with my lighter. It has been 24 hours, so I'm going to be adding on the final layer of resin. I decided to just go with some simple clear resin, and I'm just going over it with my lighter, and I'm going to be popping all of the bubbles that I see that are stuck underneath either the roses or the green leaf or anything like that. So these three flowers right here, these three roses, the white and the red one, there was a bubble that was stuck underneath, kind of like the stem. So I had to keep on poking at it over and over again for the bubble to rise up. With the bubble, it's just air that's right there. There's no resin. So you have to keep poking at it so the resin can take over the bubble. But I kept on doing it for like a good minute, and the bubble just kept on rising. The bubble just kept on coming, so I was like, okay, forget about it. It's just going to be a bubble either stuck underneath it or a bubble that is going to be rising while the resin is going to be cured. Like, look at that red one. It's not slowing down no time soon. And trust me, this video is very much sped up. So even after I finished filming, the bubble was still rising. I ordered the wrong battery, so no batteries for it. It is what it is. But the next one, I'll put some batteries in it. But let's pop it out of the mold. It's been 24 hours and several layers of resin. If you look very closely, you can see that this could had a little bit of some more resin left in there, but I thought that it filled up all the way. But that's fine. There's a crack right here. It's not a crack, an air bubble. Say it. Did not see that. I want to reuse this mold again, but we shall see. This bubble that I popped at the last minute, and the other one that was beside it got disappeared completely. You can see that there's another bubble rising underneath it, but it still looks good. I need to fix up the side. Time now for the big reveal. Wabam! Oh wow, looks very scratchy. The pictures look good on it. Flowers like old and new. As you see better right here. Let's pop the cork right inside. This is how it looks. I feel like if I could just sand down the top and then add another layer of resin to gloss it off, and it will look pretty cool. You can see all of the layers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the final layer is a bubble right here as well. Bubble that was resin at the corner. My fingerprints. But this is just a mess. Oh, pop it in and filled it. I love it. What do you guys think? And in this one, a lot of bubbles in there. This is some silica gel that was in the rose that I was drying. And then you can see that there's a giant bubble right here that never got a chance to rise. Oh, and there's one right here as well. I think that's about it. But it looks good. I like it. Oh, and there's a little ball right here. And so it looks, I like it. Up close and personal look of it. This is how it turned out. I like it. It's cute. I feel like if it's the same thing that I do over and over again, but it still looks good. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.